Prim time.
All parents are familiar with these questions. What time is it, Mum? How long before we arrive? When are we leaving? The Prim Time watch was developed by Zelia, a French company based in La Rochelle. It is an accessory that children will take to quickly and easily. The icons on the dial will help young children recognize the different phases of the day without having to know how to tell the time. It is believed that children develop their perception of time between the ages of 3 and 9. The Prim Time watch is an excellent example of collaboration between research and industry. A product of increased understanding, it also helps the study of the development of temporal independence in young children.
Au départ, c'est très primaire, la temporalité chez le jeune enfant.
In the beginning, children have a highly rudimentary sense of time. They see a bottle of milk and they know it's time to be fed. Later in life, the notion of the present gradually gains ground, together with slightly restricted perspectives of the past and future. Young children live in the present and rely on the events of the day, on what we, in our jargon, refer to as the synchronizers. One can formulate the following hypothesis. This watch and its formalization of the synchronizer will help children understand time. It is highly important for a subject to have both spatial and temporal markers. The temporal markers are not often discussed, but in my opinion, they are just as important. Spatial markers. It is obvious when children lose their bearings in space. However, we are less aware of them being confused in time. It's nice for them to have temporal markers. And I believe that the proposed device actually helps children define time. For children's safety and their parents' peace of mind, the Prim Time watch was designed in cooperation with France Telecom Research and Development, with the second idea in mind, that of interactivity. At the heart of its mechanism, the Prim Time watch contains a high-technology transmitter producing a very low-frequency signal that can be picked up within a radius of up to 20 meters. Domestic automation and safety are examples of the many fields in which this function may be applied. It's market day. Valentine is lingering in front of the dolls. Mummy wants to get going. It's time to leave. Mummy realizes that Valentine has disappeared from view. Everyone's familiar with this market, so no one is unduly worried. But it's so efficient to use your cellular phone to localize your lost child in a crowd of people by picking up the levels of a permanent signal emitted by the Prim Time watch. Here's a scene from a family's daily life. Valentine is playing in the garden under Grandma's supervision. The little girl has wandered out of sight. It could be dangerous. But thanks to the signal emitted by the watch, Grandma is instantly warned and can take control of the situation. The alarm signal may also be transferred to a house terminal or a cellular telephone. Look at my lovely aeroplane. Mummy is involved with her gardening, and she knows that Valentine is not far away. Oh dear, lost to her game, and like all good pilots, Valentine wants to save the aeroplane. She crosses the first locally beaconed perimeter, but Mummy is at the other end of the garden. The second perimeter simultaneously sends an emergency message to Mummy's cellular telephone and to the house telephone. There's no problem, the situation is under control. The zoo is a paradise for children. Even though the nesting rituals of the greater flamingos interest Daddy and Mummy, Alice has her own ideas. Oh dear, where are the children now? With the lions or the monkeys? Instead of running around the zoo in a panic, parents are able to spot the Prim Time signal on one of the interactive terminals. The entire site is in fact equipped with sensors connected to a central unit that helps locate the Prim Time signal. The search is quick and efficient. As an extra feature, Mini messages on the cellular telephone can be used to arrange the next meeting place. It's the end of the afternoon. The decidedly intrepid Alice wandered off into the woods this morning. The search for the Primtime signal is launched before nightfall. Helicopters equipped with signal amplifiers are sent to the site. These amplifiers extend the range of the signal from the watch. Searching the forest would be hopeless. But the heart of the Primtime watch beats loudly, and the beacon appears quickly on the monitor. The child must do her homework before she can watch television, and not just any programme. Mummy programs the channel and the length of time that her child will be allowed to watch television in her absence. Mummy has pre-programmed the television so that the Primtime signal will switch it on when the maths and reading are finished. Learning how to use the internet is fine, but mind out for Mummy's files and inappropriate websites. Setting up a simple program which will be activated by the Primtime watch. The keyboard is deactivated. Valentine will be able to surf for 15 minutes only on a pre-selected website. It's nearly time to eat. Mummy is very busy, and so is Valentine. Watch out, Valentine, it's hot. I'm hot, says the cooker. The domotic cooker identifies the danger and warns Mummy as the watch approaches. We're having great fun. Every time she walks into the room, the Primtime signal activates the talking doll. Valentine thinks it's hilarious. The Primtime watch is a timepiece, an intelligent safety device, and an enjoyable toy. The research group that I head is interested in the notion of communicating objects. It's clear that through wireless technology we can connect various objects to one another within a small perimeter and thereby enhance their usefulness by incorporating them in the personal communications environment.
Ce domaine nous intéresse à plus d'un titre parce que pour nous il est le futur.
We study this field for many reasons, not least because it is an important component of the future of telecommunications. Why the watch? Because it seems to us that these days the watch is an indispensable accessory. Everyone has one. Even the youngest children have toy watches to play with. The product, created by Zelia, offers a watch replete with functions that are specifically adapted to this age group.
Cette cible nous intéresse parce que d'une part, effectivement, elle est nouvelle.
This target group is of interest to us because it is new and therefore deserves groundwork. On the other hand, it also poses problems concerning interface. Small children are unable to use the keypad of a cellular telephone. It's necessary to adapt the communication environment to their size and capabilities.
C'est clairement une nouvelle stratégie de France Télécom et particulièrement du centre de recherche de France Télécom, France Télécom R&D.
This is a new strategy adopted by France Télécom and particularly France Télécom Research and Development. We intend to ensure that these are not just internal projects, but rather projects that will combine our technological know-how with market and marketing and the innovation expertise which may be provided by other companies. These may be small companies, for example startup projects such as Zelia, or larger groups.
Imaginez une montre communicante à moins de 400 francs.
Imagine a communicating watch for less than €60 in the next 2 years offering the services that we have identified and illustrated in this film. I am quite convinced of their relevance and their commercial future.
Dis maman, claire